Hello, everyone. Just wanted you to ensure that everyone is on here. This is going to be important. This is some important news, okay? Because we're going to be talking about what to ask for when you're looking for that line of utilize for the velocity banking method. Cash flow enhancement. Cash flow enhancement. All right? That's what we're looking for. We're looking to increase our cash flow. Good evening, Daryl. Absolutely. That example is coming your way. Okay. I didn't forget about that. Kenneth, what's going on? Greetings to you too. We're just going to be going down the list. Just going to be going down the list of what to ask for on a line of credit, particularly a home equity line of credit. Okay. Particularly a home equity line of credit. What's going on, twin? Nisi, hello to you. And don't let them trick you, guys. Don't let them trick you. Because they're going to say things like, oh, yes, well, on this home equity loan, stop them right there. Right when they get that look, when they say low and not la, right? Stop them right mid-sentence and say, I asked for a line. I'm serious. They tried to do that to one of my clients. Home equity loan. He should have said home equity line. I believe we got it corrected. But yeah, let them know that you want a line of credit. It is not the same as a home equity loan. Okay? And we're going to get deeper into that as we go. All right? Further and further along. Kenneth's got a good question here. Can a mortgage be avoided when you're buying a home? Woo! Boy, oh boy. Let me tell you. A mortgage, right? You can pay off the house outright, right? You can actually get a mortgage, right? And then have your home equity line of credit swallow that mortgage. It all depends, right? Because that's called the first position, home equity line of credit. It all depends on what that particular bank offers. Some banks offer the 80, the 85, the 90% loan to value, and some banks even offer 100% loan to value. When that happens, you can just take that mortgage and swallow it whole, so that amortized interest turns all into simple interest. Okay. What about a secured line of credit? Absolutely. We're going to be going on and on about that. Okay. A line of credit is a line of credit is a line of credit. All right. It's simple interest for you so that you can pay off those loans. Okay. So the line of credit, that's a good question. We're going to go over the questions that you ask. Some of them are going to be directed to line of credit in general. And then some of them are going to be in particular for the home equity line of credit. Really, folks, the home equity line of credit is what you're wanting. Okay, especially when you're going to pay off these mortgages, you're going to want the home equity line of credit. That's the best one. Okay, that's the best one. So what do you ask for? A line of credit. That's right. You can just go to your bank. You just go to your bank, ask for a line of credit. All right, hey, how much is your line? What's the minimum amount or what's the maximum amount for the line of credit for me? And they should get you. What's going on, Julian? Philip? Good questions. Good questions. Listen, we're going to dive right in, okay? Number one, what do I ask for when I want a line of credit? We're going to give you the list right now. Number one, do you charge an app fee? Do you charge an application fee? Okay? Do you charge it? Do you charge it? Because some banks, yes, they do. They do charge an application fee. Now, if you're going to do a home equity loan, okay, you don't need to ask that. They will charge, right, an application fee. All right? But you need to ask them, hey, are there any application fees involved? Now, does that mean that we automatically say no if there's an application fee involved? No, not necessarily. It all depends on how good that tool works for us, that home equity line of credit works for us, and if you can work that into your financial plan, then it might work for you. All right, that might work for you. Number two, do you charge points? Points, 1% of the loan amount. What does that mean? So it's like 1,000 out of every $100,000. Okay, $1,000 out of 100,000. That's 1 point, and that's the lender. That's the lender jargon. All right. Philip, you got a question? In Texas, how do I get a home equity line of credit for a non-owner occupied? Ooh, that's a good question. Because I know of none that for the home equity line of credit for non-owner occupied. Sorry. Just joking. Hey, listen, there's plenty of banks out there. What you need to do is just ask them, hey, you know, what are your limits? What are the term limits for a home equity line of credit for non-owner occupied? Listen, folks, when you go to the banks and ask these questions and you're doing your research, you want to research them. Do not let them research you. Do not just volunteer information to them, because then they're going to dig further and further and further, right? And they're going to misjudge and misunderstand what you're trying to do and close you off, okay? So please, I'm not saying hide anything from them. I'm just saying don't volunteer to be closed off from a really high line of credit. That's all. Just saying be wise, all right? Yes, Daryl, you sure did. You sure did. Hey, I got that. Velocity banking, you were wanting the scenario, like the scenario drawn up. Don't worry, I'm going to email that to you, okay? Tonight, before I go to bed. Okay, do you charge points? Number three is, are there any additional costs? Are there any additional costs? Please, give me the additional costs. Don't hide that from me, all right? What are those additional costs? And like I said before, if those additional costs are over your financial plan and you don't think you can do it, or the tool, the line of credit isn't worth those additional costs, then don't do it. But if you can see the worth in that line of credit and it's worth paying those additional costs, then go ahead and do it, okay? That part is up to you. You also need to ask, what's your approval time? When am I going to know that I got the line of credit? Is it going to take me a week? Some of these banks take a long time. My word. What's the approval time, guys? Please show me your approval time. All right. And you're interviewing them. This is what this is. You're interviewing them. Number 5, how far is your margin above prime rate? How far is it above prime rate? Is this just this percentage right here, this interest rate? Is this just an introductory? What is it going to be 6 months down the line? What is it going to be? Okay, ask them about that. Number 6, what is the cap? What's the highest interest rate on this home equity line of credit? What's the highest that I'm going to be charged to get this money? What's the highest? Ask them that. All right. What is your maximum loan amount or loan to value? Remember, we talked about that. So some banks, they do 80% loan to value. Some are even 90% loan to value. And fewer are 100% loan to value. When you get up that high, you can then take your mortgage and swallow it up with that first lien position home equity line of credit. And that's what it's called. First lien position home equity line of credit. Your mortgage has been swallowed up by the home equity line of credit, and now the line of credit is in first lien position. All right? It's not your mortgage. So now it's all simple interest. All right? So that's what that is about. So make sure you find out what's the maximum loan amount. What is it? What is the maximum loan amount? The loan to value. Shop around, guys. Don't be afraid to shop around. Because when you shop around and you're looking at these different products, you're saying, okay, this one's 80%, this one's 90%. But this one that has 80%, this one has additional cost to it and an application fee. This one has 90%, but the interest rate on it as well is looking good, doesn't have any additional costs. And so you're gonna have to weigh that out. You're gonna have to weigh it out. You're gonna have to write it down, write those numbers down, and then buy the numbers. Don't buy off of emotion. Buy the numbers. Like I say all the time in the presentations for a real estate investing class, I don't buy properties. I buy the numbers. Totally emotionless game. It's totally emotionless. I don't care if the blinds are pretty. I don't care if the floor is waxed. I don't care if the walls have diamonds on them. If someone will live there in that neighborhood and they like the house, I'm not putting in any more than I need to. Why? Profit. I'm a profiteer. And you're a profiteer too, fellow business owner. All right? Boom. I love it. Conversation. Go for it. Philip, good job. Stuart, awesome. Perfect. Answer that question. We're going on. So we went over what is the cap rate for the interest rate. We went over what is your maximum loan amount or loan to value. Is there a minimum I have to borrow? Is there a minimum that I have to borrow? Do I have to borrow the $15,000 or can it be higher? Can I have a higher line that I can borrow, please? Okay. Are my payments interest only? Now, some will volunteer. They'll let you know, hey, you can choose if you want the payments and interest or if you want the interest only. Okay. They'll give you a choice. Like I believe they did Daryl. Okay, Woodruff. Okay. They gave them a choice. Okay. Sometimes you're going to have to ask, hey, are the payments interest only? Interest only payments, sometimes they can work for you. It all depends on what your strategy is and what you want to do with those funds. If you need that capital, that monthly capital coming into you for a few months, it may be best to go ahead and just do the interest only. Why? Because you're going to be paying that minimum amount at least for those few months. And then you want to get caught back up in those payments and interest payments, all right? The principal and interest payments. So it all depends on what your strategy is, all right? So that's a good one to ask. What's the period of the loan in years? What is the period of the loan in years? What is the period of the loan? What is the period of the loan? Now, CJ, I thought you said that this was not a loan. Yes. But you're going to use the bank's terminology in this, all right? Because they still think it's a loan, guys. They're not thinking of it as a new checking account like we are. So sometimes we have to use their lingo so they know what we're talking about. All right? Watch this. Can I renew the line of credit? This is a big one. Some have home equity line of credits of 5 years, 10 years, okay? And then you can renew it. Make sure you ask this question. Can I renew the line of credit? Okay? Some banks you can't. Some banks you can. You want to get with the bank that can or can't. Can or can't. Go ahead and answer that. Answer that. Somebody answer that. I know, Turco, you can answer this. I think Philip can answer. I think Daryl can answer this. All right, Santiago, I know you can answer this. You want the line of credit that renews, that can renew or can't renew. Which one do you want? Woo! Can. Good evening, Sandrika, Tam, Leroy, Young Money Team, Red Box. Because we love can, don't we? We love the can. Okay? You want a line of credit that can renew. Why? Because when you pay it off, right? You can then say, okay, you know what? My 5 years is up. I want to stop this line of credit. Thank you. You paid off the line of credit, right? And then the bank is like, well, what happened? Well, no, nothing, nothing. What I want to do is just renew it. Oh, you want to renew it for another 5 years? Yes, yes, I do. Okay, you want to renew it for another 10 years? Yes, yes. Because I'm just 2 more years away from paying off my home. And that's what you're going to think. But it's like you'll just say to them, yes, I do want to renew. And you'll only need it for like 2 more years. If you used it for 5 years and you're utilizing the velocity banking strategy, you got a $200,000 house or even a $300,000 house, utilizing your paychecks, you can actually utilize that to pay off the home in 5 to 7 years. Hashtag 5 to 7 years. Somebody write that in the comments. Hashtag 5 to 7 years. Did you know that 5 to 7 years is the new 30? 5 to 7 years is the new 30. We don't believe in 30-year mortgages anymore. All right? No, we don't. We don't want, if we don't want to, we don't have to refinance and start that clock, that 30-year clock all over again. That 5 to 7 years, they're getting all that interest. And then at the end of the 7 years, or at the end of the 15 years where your principal and interest are almost meeting, and almost the same, people say, you know what? I need an extra $100 a month. I think I'll refinance and start the clock back over again so that you pay that high interest again. Listen, folks, we know better. And when you know better, there you go, Kenneth. That's right. When you know better, you have the opportunity to do better. All right? Watch this. Are there any annual memberships or maintenance fees? We don't want that. We don't want annual memberships or maintenance fees. Daryl, good job. He says, after 20 years of drawing and paying back, you can no longer draw, only pay back. That's right. That's why we don't preach 30 years. We don't. We preach 5 to 7. That's all you'll need your home equity line of credit for. Now, if you want to, utilize that for other loans, you can do that as well. You'll have time, at least a couple more years. Good job, Daryl. Okay. Now, with that being said, some banks are getting creative. I know one here in Arizona, I was just flabbergasted by the things that they're able to do. I hope they don't get closed down, guys. These guys are creative and they work with real estate investors. All right. So even with that, okay. Number 13, can I make withdrawals with an ATM debit card or checkbook? Can I make withdrawals? Can I make withdrawals? That's so important. Because if you have a home equity line of credit that has a card with it, does anyone have that? That is so powerful. And a checkbook, you're really utilizing it as your new checking account. And that's what it's all about. Oh, okay, go for it, Daryl. Okay, this is a red box. Now I'm reading right into your comments too. Love it though. Love it. You're right. Go for it. Hey, keep on. Keep on. And I'm monitoring them. Don't worry. What's the minimum credit score to get a home equity line of credit? What is the minimum credit score? Well, I know some banks, they like 680. Okay. They like 680. They like 620. I believe you can even get them as low as 620. But you'll probably be hard pressed to find banks that go that low. That's pretty low, but they are trying to get business. So that's probably the minimum. Okay. Yeah, it used to be 640. That's right. It used to be 640. But yeah, that's why you need to just shop around. Shop around. Now, there's a bank in Hawaii, and I know they're in Hawaii, and your property is somewhere else. But I would definitely if you're wanting this, definitely I would be able to volunteer for you because I would like to find out myself because I actually heard that they actually do HELOCs across the ocean. Okay, they do HELOCs across the ocean. So if you have a Nebraska home or a North Dakota home or Arizona home, anywhere within the United States, they're still able to get that home equity line of credit for you. How? I have no idea. I do know these guys are real estate investors and they have a different mindset than other banks. Okay, so they definitely do it legally, ethically. I would like to volunteer to see if we can get you that home equity line of credit. So maybe we could schedule a phone call or whatnot. All right, if that's what you wanted to do, I'm game. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, because I'm in a webinar at the same time here, so I want to make sure that they're not calling my name to do anything.
Right, you're into actually getting lines of credit. Okay. So with some of our businesses that were already established,
you guys hear that?
The first.
Okay, that's the business credit webinar. Sorry about that. So I just needed to see if they were going to call my name. I think they're going to call my name in just a little bit. So let's go ahead and wrap up. Can I make unlimited withdrawals? That's what you need to ask them. That's number 14. Is there a size limit to withdrawals? That's number 15. Number 16, is there a per transaction fee? That's number 16. Number 17, am I required to take out an initial advance or drawdown? Am I required? Do I have to? Anything that you have to do, right? You want to know about that in advance so that you can do your homework. Folks, that's it. Okay? If you want to stay on for this live business credit webinar that I'm on, you can. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and do
this. It tells us right here. This is the underwriting guidelines. I mean, having all of that information right here, and this information is kept up to date daily as we learn of the underwriting guidelines. Anything that changes, this information stays current as well. I'm telling you, I have a lot of people that I work with. They're like, you know what, your information's great. No, but no thanks to working with you, and that's fine. You don't have to work with us. But then they come back and they say, hey, could you help us find some of those starter vendors? It happens all the time. This is where all the research went in to find these people. Remember, we've been doing this for 3 years and trying to find who are the starting vendors, who will offer the line of credit, how much do you have to spend, will they report, who does and doesn't report, and then we're constantly out there learning more and more about that. So it's so important. And I talk about how this is a foolproof system because let's say you wanted to skip ahead. There's a lot of people.
Daryl, your business is registered, and I just opened my first business account today.
And so here, so as we have somebody talking on the line there, listen, these are all these high limit cards. These are $30,000, $40,000 cards here, right? That also turn into not only fuel cards, but they're also like Visa, MasterCard as well. When you look at these high limits, notice how it shows you're not qualified, right? You haven't met the requirements because this system integrates with Dun & Bradstreet, with this bank, right? It keeps track of what your paydex score is, all of this information. So, but you can always look ahead and see what you want to apply. Right? Let's see what the goals we have to meet. Like if I want this Home Depot card for $30,000, dollars in lines of credit because I'm a fix and flipper. I'm looking at this. I've got to have all of these requirements met. And if I'm even like if I'm close, but on those, I'm going to work with the team of Credit Suite who's going to help me. Let's say I haven't been in business for 3 years. Well, they're going to help me look better in other areas. Maybe instead of having 10, 14 lines reporting, instead of one account with a $10,000 high limit, they're going to help me get 2 or 3 of those. And because they'll be stronger in other areas, the loan officers, these are the people that they talk with. They know underwriters. These are the people who are going to get the information pushed through and help you get those high limit revolving lines of credit. I wish I had more time to go over this, but we're reaching the end of our time, and I really got to wrap it up to get you guys out of here. So I'm going to click back over to our presentation, and we'll get you out of here in just 2 minutes. Here we go. Click this button here, and we're back. So, about that credit suite, here's the big things you got to take away. This is where you're going to find the largest source in one place of all the starter vendors. I mean, we have the vendors for the store cards, as well as the high limit cards, the fleet cards, everything that you need is going to be here. And that information's out there. You can find it. You can research it. It takes time to find it. Those starter vendors, that's the part that's a needle. It's like not even trying to find a needle in the haystack. It's trying to find a needle in a needle. Okay, that's how difficult it is to find these starter vendors that will report, because you've got to get those first five, or just to get the ball rolling.
Okay, folks, again,
right?
I'm on the business credit webinar. You guys are too. This is what we're just discussing. All the folks that are on the line here, the business finance.
$300 a month.
That's what we're discussing right now.
Right? You can just do it in our system.
Listen, I'm going to be typing in the questions.
You don't have to.
If you guys have questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments. I'm going to answer them live. All right?
How to get a crew.
Boom.
Plus, I mean, this system gets you into the 411 listing. We help you get that DUNS number for free. And of course, we've partnered with Credit Suite, so you can get the certified business coaches, the financial advisors, and the loan officers working with you. Tell me, it is a phenomenal system. So let's recap, right? What did you learn today, right? Well, I already told you the answer there. What's a perfect credit score? You hopefully learned it's on 100, right? On 100 PAYDEX score. But who are the reporting bureaus, right? We just talked about them. Dun & Bradstreet, Business Experience, and Equifax Small Business. Now, what affects your score, right? What is it? Payment. That's all. Pay your bills on time. In fact, don't wait till the last day it's due to pay the bill, because it might not process that day. It might process the next day. So we're going to redefine. To pay early means to pay on time. So don't wait to pay on time. Pay early, right? So to pay early, pay on time. In fact, if you adopt that philosophy in your life, to be early is to be on time, you're going to find that a lot of things are going to work a lot better for you. But especially when it comes to building a business credit, because this is the only factor is payment history. So if you miss one payment, it's going to damage you for 3 years. So let's not do that. Let's just pay early and take care of things. And you will see this business comes in fast. You start building business credit fast. Now, how long does it take? Well, we've talked about that. You've been given all the information that you need where you can start running with this, okay? Because if you want to do this on your own, you've got to go figure out who all those starting vendors are. You've got to interview them and figure out who they report, how much you have to spend, and what their underwriting guidelines are. You'll need to go out and do that research on your own. But if you work with us and the team with Credit Suite, we can help you get $50,000 in lines of credit in 6 to 12 months. Why do I say 6 to 12 months? Well, if you're already established and you don't really have any issues, you can get $50,000 or more in the next 6 months. Now, if you have a couple of issues and we need to work with you, or you're just getting started for the first time and you get your business entity up and running, well, give us a little time to work with you, but this could take, at that point, a little bit more than 6 months. But what our guarantee is we'll get you $50,000 in lines of credit within 6 months if you're working.
It's all good, Daryl. It's all good.
Now, let's say, how much does it cost just to work with Credit Suite? I mean, forget the software program that I was showing you. Just to work with the business coaches, the financial advisors, the loan officers, what does that cost? Well, their services retail from $3,500 up to $7,000, and it's worth every penny. I'm telling you, I've worked with them. They are literally the best. They have helped tons of people get millions of dollars of lines of credit. But how much does it cost to work with wise guys and times, right? To work with the software, right? Some people are like, hey, I got it. I'm on my own. I got it. Good for you. Go get them, Tiger. Right? But if you want somebody like, hey, you know what? I need some advisors. I need a company of people around me to help me to build this so I do it the right way and I do it as fast as possible. Right, so if you
Going
want
on
to
the
work with
way.
us in that capacity with the software,
There you go.
also
William Gunn.
we
Any
work with
suggestions
Wise
for
Guys,
secure
and you
credit
also are
cards?
working with the business credit advisors, because again, we've partnered together. So our whole software and working with the team of advisors retails at $4,997. Now, this is on our website, and we do offer a one-time, and see, so with the $4,997, which I think is a great price, there's financing available, so we will finance it. But if you want to pay it off all up front, we'll give you over half off, right? You can get the whole, everything that we have to offer, the software, working with the credit suite, loan officers, and financial advisors for $2,897. I mean, that's less than what it would cost just to work with the advisors alone. Remember, it costs $3,500 just to work with their team of advisors, and they're so proactive. I mean, you don't like wait to call them. They're calling you from day one. They're calling you every day. They're like a coach. They're working with you. They're like, okay, this is what we got to get done, and then this is what we got to do next. And they're like, well, what can we help you with? They're so proactive that, I mean, because we're really dedicated to helping you get $50,000 or more in lines of credit within 6 to 12 months. Now, I'm telling you, this has been phenomenal. We have been able to help literally dozens and dozens of businesses just this year get started. And you go to our website and you can see the testimonials from all the people we've been able to help. But I want you to know, for those of you who stuck with us and stayed on the line, CJ Wallace and his group, his YouTube video group, he came to us and we've partnered with him before. He's a great guy and a real estate investor in his own
I
right.
put this dude in a headlock.
But he asked if
He's
there
a
was
500
any way that we could
he's a
do
big
something
dude. I put
special for his group. And so, I mean, it's not something that I had set up here on the screen or anything, but in your own notes, here's what I can offer. If any of you want to get started working with us, working with Ray Fleming and I, the Wise Guys and Ties, working with the business credit builder, we're working with CJ Wallace, right? We'll go ahead and knock off the one-time cash discount. We'll knock off $1,000 off of that. So you can get started with us for $1,897. That's if you contact us tonight. You contact me, go to our website, schedule a live consult, or email CJ and contact him. If you let him know, I'm offering this tonight for the people who are here on this particular webinar. This is I know Ray's probably a little bit, his eyes are bugging out right now. He's like, what? But I'm telling you what, I love working with CJ, and I love all the people that from his YouTube channel. He's really trying to truly make a difference and help people. And so we want to extend that offer to CJ and the rest of you out there.
That's
from
a good
his
question,
YouTube channel.
Joe.
Now, you do have a 100% money back guarantee. Your satisfaction is completely
back
guaranteed.
in
Right? After 30 days of working with us,
on some of
we have not literally blown your socks off. I mean, if we haven't rocked your world, then you just get your money back.
There are some creditors that do that, so that's why that's another
because
question.
nobody has.
You want to ask them. That's a bonus question, Joe.
The software, the team of advisors that are proactive and
put a
working with
freeze
you,
on it.
all of the data and
They sure
information getting fed
They
to
sure
you
do.
in real time. People's lives are changing, and some people who
But if
have
they put
already
the
have
freeze
established
on,
businesses have already
whose
seen
fault would that be?
10,000, 12,000 in
Right.
just their first 30 days in lines of credit. So I mean,
It's the bank.
now if you're just starting and you need help, just getting started, you're going to
And
see
they
so
can do
much
that.
progress
That's
towards
why a lot
building
of
your
banks
business
did
in
what?
those first 30 days.
Close their
You're going to know
doors. You know
if
what I
this
mean?
works.
They've had to
right?
freeze up the money.
And I'm telling you,
Because they
it
don't
does
produce,
work.
guys.
We've got the
Banks
testimonials to
don't
back this up
produce.
and prove it, but
So
also just
that's why
to
we
make
use real
sure
estate
that
investors. We have more
we
options.
give you that
Okay,
satisfaction
just,
that you know
the
that there is a
personal line of
100%
credit,
money back
home
guarantee.
equity line of credit.
And we've never had anyone
But
ever
the
take
home
us up
equity line
on
of
it
credit,
because
remember,
this
that's why you
flat out
also need to do the research and look
So in
about,
closing, I just want
you
you to
know,
see
let's see
what we have
what's
on
on
the
the
screen
horizon.
here.
You know, if
are
you think that that's going to be the
billionaires.
case in the
They
future,
run some of the
then
most
what's wrong with going
successful
ahead and
companies
putting
in
that
the
whole,
United
putting all
States.
that money back in your home equity line of credit
But
and
I
grabbing
asked
that
you, how
personal
long
line?
until your picture's up there?
What's wrong with that?
Right? You have a dream. You have a business. Right? Is your
But the likelihood
do you have
of
a
that
goal to
happening
someday
again,
maybe create a legacy
who
type of
knows?
wealth,
Who
a
knows?
family business,
Yeah, but that's a good one,
or
Joe.
you have
That's a good one to
some
bring up.
idea
But the
that
home
is
equity
just
line
going to
of credit,
catch on and just light up the world.
my goodness,
Right?
I think that's a good one.
Whatever God puts
Daryl,
you
what I
on
want
this
to
earth
do
to do, we
is
want to
I want to
whatever dream that
increase
you have,
on what
we
Daryl
want to help
asked
you
right
achieve
there.
that.
And I want to
Right?
show
These
you,
people here, they
right,
also
because I don't have
well,
time
what's
right
the
now.
difference
He's about to
between
call
them?
my name in a little bit.
I mean,
I don't have
they
time
put
right
their
now.
pants on the
What do
same way
you
that we
do
do.
when
So what
if
is
there
the difference?
is a home equity line of credit
The
freeze
difference
or a line
is
of credit freeze,
they
right?
did
What do you
whatever
do
it
in
took
those situations?
to
Let
make
me
it
address that, Daryl. Thank you so
I
much.
challenge you,
I'm
do
gonna put
whatever it
that.
takes. If business credit is the right solution for you and your business, don't wait, get started. Right? Do whatever it takes to make your dreams come true. So the guy, for those who are on the phone, who are calling us on the phone call, want you to know, text credit, the word credit to 602-497-2257. That's credit to the phone number 602-497-2257. And you'll be able to get a copy of the 4 steps on how to build business credit. All the information we went over tonight. You can text your information there. And to go ahead, I'm going to open it up here. We have officially concluded our time here. Let me unmute everybody. All right, all participants are unmuted. Is there any questions before we wrap it up and send you guys back off into the world to go do wonderful things? No, we must have done such a great job. We answered everybody's question. Now, you guys probably are just blown away by so much information we just gave you that the questions will come later. Our contact
What's going on, Gary?
is on the screen, and we want to definitely have you guys get in touch with us if you want to set up a free business consult.
Oh,
if any of you want to
he's
take us up
offering
on
the
the
business
offer of
credit
working
suite.
with us and the credit suite team and the special offer that I'm giving for tonight, it's until the end of tonight.
The only reason I'm staying on here, guys, is
shoot
because
us
I'm
an email, a phone
on the
call, or
same
shoot CJ Wallace an email or
footage.
a phone
See, he's
call.
about to call
You can get access to
my name right now, so I gotta
all of that.
hop in
all of this
in just a little
process
bit.
of helping
You guys are
build
gonna
your
hear this
business
live.
credit will handhold you every step of the way to get you $50,000 a month of credit within 6 to 12 months, right? For what did I say? $1,897.
That's called the CJ discount.
That's way less than I paid to do it, for sure. All right. Well, since there's no further questions out there, CJ Wallace, why don't you come on the line and close us out?
Yes. Oh my goodness, Joseph, you did a great job, man. You did a great job. Listen, my viewers, they're actually applauding you right now. It's a great job that you did. Listen, I want you to know, folks, that if you're in the business credit, if you want business credit, if you want your business to grow, then you know it has to be business credit. Okay, you got to have that business credit profile. You know, if you and another company, right, that didn't have business credit, that didn't care enough to build their business credit, if you, let's say both of you had to sell, okay, which one would be more valuable? That's the type of stuff that business owners like us need to think about. That's why business credit is so phenomenal. So I want you to do something tonight. Do tonight. Make the decision for tonight that your future self will thank you for. All right, folks, thank you so much for attending. Get back with us. We want to give you that free consultation. We want to lead you in the right direction to get that business credit for your business growth. And I know it's going to be phenomenal. Guys, have a good night and God bless.
God bless. Good night. Good night, everybody.
Guys, was that too corny? Was that too?
Good night,
What was that? Was that all right?
Good night.
I want to hear from you. Let's see the feedback. Oh yeah. Oh, we get the claps, huh? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I get an applause. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. What's going on, Joshua? What's going on, Joseph?
again?
What's going on, Joseph?
That was phenomenal. I don't know if I've ever seen Ray do such a good job before. He's usually so boring, but this time I actually paid attention to him.
Not only is he boring, but he's also, listen, I gotta let these guys go. Guys, thank you so much. Have a good night. God bless. What's tomorrow? Friday? I gotta show you something Friday, guys. You gotta tune in. Let's see. Should I go on date night on Friday, guys?
I think, are you talking to the wise guys and ties? Or are you talking to the CJs guys?
Oh yeah. I'm talking to the CJs guys and ties, folks. Let me say this. I want to say this, that I will be talking to you tomorrow. It'll probably be at 7 p.m. and I'll actually be at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, guys. Good night and God bless. Thank you so much. Keep those questions coming. And Daryl, we're going to answer your question about what happens if your home equity line of credit gets a freeze, gets put in the freezer, gets put in the Arctic Ocean. We're going to show you how to overcome mobsters. All right. We're going to show you next time. Okay. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Peace.